Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program. Another episode of Perspective. And I'm super excited this morning because we are going to be talking with the school. They're based in KZN in Durban. The school in question is the Hartley Street Primary School, and they have really undergone and done an amazing piece of work. It's actually the first time I'm hearing about this. The grade 2 pupils at the school have written a book, and I think this was under the direction, obviously, of the class teacher, Dr. Zain Cullen. On the show, we will be featuring 2 of those kids, although the entire class was involved in this, in this venture. Unfortunately, due to constraints in the studio, we can only feature 2 of the little people. They are Mohammed Amir Khan and Fatima Zahra Jusuf. Also on the show, we're going to be talking with Dr. Naidu. He's head of department, and then Mr. Desai, chairperson of the school governing body. And we need to understand, how is it that a primary school like this has gone on achieving this phenomenal feat? I do think it is absolutely phenomenal. Wherever have you heard about a grade 2 class having written a book together with their class teacher? So let's welcome these amazing people to the show. We'll start with you, Zain Cullen, the class teacher of these amazing little people. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the program. It's great to have you here, and many congratulations. I think this is amazing. How did this all come about? How did it start? Why did you think it would be possible for you, in collaboration with your class, be able to do a little kiddies book? I mean, when I think about it, I've got grandkids, and I just think it sounds almost impossible. How will they understand what I'm trying to achieve? How will they understand the pictures in my head? How will I understand the concepts in their head? So I think it's truly amazing. So how did it start?
Okay, so we started because the learners were waiting for PE, and I was watching an educational video by a motivational speaker, and he was saying that we need to create more writers in the country. And I think it struck me that wouldn't it be cool that I can write a book in my class? And when the learners came back from PE, I asked him, what do you guys think? Should we write a book together? And the response was overwhelming. They were excited, buzzing enthusiasm, and it was at that very moment this kid's book problem was born. We did encounter challenges, as we mentioned.
Okay, Zain, we'll come back to you in a minute or 2. Let's get the other guests to introduce themselves. And obviously, they too have lots to share with us on the show this morning. So let's go to you, Dr. Naidu and Mr. Desai. Morning and salamu alaikum.
Good morning,
Dr. Naidu, are you a medical doctor? What are you doing as a head of department at the school?
I wish I could pass that responsibility from my kids. No, I did my PhD in mathematics, curriculum leadership at the University of Portland. And first, I want to congratulate Zain Cullen and the Ruwan, remarkable achievements. My study was in narrative study, and so I can really appreciate and understand how the story can really unravel and bring about truth about what these Ruwan are trying to say in their documents.
Okay, and can I please just ask the other guests, please to not interrupt or not speak whilst some... Okay, and try and be as as quiet as you possibly can, because any sound that you do make will be picked up, and it's distracting here in the studio. It will be picked up on the program. Let's go to you, Mr. Desai, chairperson of the school governing body. Assalamu alaikum to you, welcome. Were you aware, well, before I ask a question, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection and history with the school.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My connection with the school goes back to the school coming into being here. What happened was there was this ex-white school that was laying empty for many years. And at the time I was living very close to the school and I had to take my child to the school further away. And I used to pass by thinking that maybe one day, hopefully, we can get this school, all right, that will be. And shukr alhamdulillah, we decided that in a few years, the school was given to us after the closing of one school privatizing. So the members of the board then went to the department and bought the school for the community here. So around that, since then, the school has gone from strength to strength. Needless to say that we have to start from scratch and where we are today. And because of the further of Allah for Allah and the community support and all the role players. Then we have Mr. Mujahid Sahib here, the principal of the good driving course and director for the school as well. So just that history laid a good foundation for the school. And like Mr. Dr. Naidu said, that he also studied, and that has been the kind of thing that we've been promoting with the school also. So that's roughly the history of the school. And really we are proud of teachers like Zain Khan and the kids that we've been teaching, etc., to come up with something like this. Obviously, whatever support we can give, we give support, but mainly today.
Okay, we're going for our first ad break. Please don't go away. Stay with us. There's a beautiful story that's going to be told right here on Hilaal TV by these little people and their class teacher, Mr. Zain Khan. So don't go away. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, welcome back. And of course, we are talking with the people at the Hartley School, primary school in Durban. Of course, it's Mr. Dr. Naidu, head of department, Mr. Desai, chairperson of the school governing body, Mr. Cullen, Zain Cullen, who is the class teacher of these amazing grade 2 learners who have come up with this book. Now, I understand that Zain Cullen, the teacher, decided to write their own book in the first term of this year, using 5 minutes every day of the English lesson, and we've now completed the book. Let's hear from the little people, and we'll go first to you, Mohammed Amir Khan. Salamu alaikum, welcome. Tell me, how excited were you when Teacher Cullen told your class that you guys are going to come together and write a book? What went through your mind? Were you excited?
Very excited. We and all the classmates were shocked. We can't believe we're making our own book.
And now that the book has been completed, whom are you going to sell the book to? Okay. Has all your friends and family and relatives, do they know that you were involved in writing the book? They did. Okay, what about you, Fatima Zahra Jusuf? What was your role in writing the book? Were you nervous at any stage?
I wasn't too nervous. I was talking and happy, yes. I'm also at this age.
Zain, how did you get the kids to hook into and buy this idea? And did they have homework? Did they have to go back home to do a little bit of research? and possibly speak with parents and get a bit of input from the parents as well. I'm thinking around conceptualization of the actual book. It might be a kiddie's book, but we do know lots of hard work and idea generation is involved here.
It was a tedious task. It took us the first term, the second term, the third term. We only completed it this term, the fourth term. So that in itself will tell you how difficult it was. And the kids and I made a promise that we're not going to tell our parents about the book, that it was going to be a surprise.
Oh.
So no homework was sent home regarding the book itself. It was done in class, solely in class. So it took us a while because I wanted the book to be 100% authentic from the learners themselves. So we brainstormed for the whole first term. I did brainstorming the idea and the plot of the book. We came up with different ideas of superheroes, and the mind was just overflowing with ideas. And then we all finally settled on doing a book that takes place in our classroom itself. And once we got that established, the class got even harder because we had to get the sentences flowing. And I gave my input, but I wanted it to come from the learners themselves. So every single day, we should try using 5 minutes from either English, performing arts, creative arts, stealing from these lessons to complete our book. And alhamdulillah, we got there, but it was not easy, as you mentioned. It was a difficult task, especially with these learners, because there's 42 in the class, and you have 42 ideas coming into you at once. And if you write in the sentence, you say today we're going to do page 1, sentence 1 of the book, and I have 42 sentences coming at me. Then we're going to use Fatima Zahra line and Muhammad Amir's idea with another learner's idea, and then the only thing I did was put it in the correct format or using the correct grammar and the correct sentence construction. But the book and the idea and the sentences, the entire book was 100% from each and every learner of my class.
This is going to be a hard act to follow, isn't it? Because there's huge expectations now, not only from your grade 2 class, but the entire Hartley Rd Primary School. Let's go to the head of department, Dr. David, and hear what he has, Dr. Naidu, Dave Naidu, and hear what he has to say about this, including head of our school governing body, chairperson of school governing body, Mr. Desai. So, Dr. Naidu, were you aware that this was happening in the grade 2 class? And being head of department, what sort of encouragement and involvement did you have in this project?
Thank you, Julie. Should be told, it's totally unaware. They say that teaching is a very lonely profession, and teachers work often in silence. And I think Mr. Cullen proves that point. We worked in isolation in his class with a beautiful idea. It's an idea that germinates from your mind, spread out to the children, and eventually they produce something of this magnitude, which is very humbling. Look, as SLT of the school, and as the SGB will testify as well, if you give teachers the space to be creative, and you give them the leeway to do what they want in school within certain legal parameters, then you get products like that. And with the help of the school governing body, the leadership of the school, the side, and the MTR side, he said something very important when he first started working in the school. He said, if you're not growing, you're dying. And it's a perfect example. We all grow, teachers, learners, and Mr. Cullen, as much as we appreciate and we admire what he's done, he's also got somebody else that can hold the camera with him. And that's Zainul Khan. She's a grade 7 English teacher, and she does authorship recently as well. And I think you are going to interview a short as well.
I agree with you 101% regarding if you're not growing, you're dying. Absolutely. We have to be in flux, mode all of the time. We can't sit back and relax and think, I've arrived, I've done my bit, I can relax now, because you will die a slow death. As far as the school governing body is concerned, Mr. Desai, how did you respond when you heard this news? Because we know your role as the school governing body. You want the best out of the teachers. You want the teachers to give the best and be able to extract the best out of the learners, because that is the ultimate goal of a very well functioning school, and that's the expectations of parents as well. They want to know that their children are in a good school under the tutorship of excellent teachers, because then only will their children excel. So your thoughts on all of this?
So, like Dr. Naidu said, that we only came to know about this project very late. I think almost when it was upon completion, the principal told me about it. To be very frank, I haven't seen that yet. So that's how well they kept it under wraps. And I am very, very supportive. The LGB is very supportive of such initiatives. Like Dr. Naidu said, the other teacher, Zainab Khan, and the LGB supported the initiatives as well. So we are there to support such initiatives, and we continuously encourage both staff and pupils to do well in this line and progress, and do things for the school and for the pupil community at large also.
Obviously, Dr. Naidu, this is a hard act to follow. Expectations have been raised, and parents and school governing bodies, not only in your school, but all around, once they hear about this amazing achievement, are all going to up their standards. They're all going to want to take it to the next level. And Hartley Rd School has proven just that by this book in collaboration with the teacher and the learners. It's a huge achievement. What do you believe needs to happen now regarding the rest of the school? It might be a phase of discomfort for other classes as well, because they're going to wonder, what can we do to show that we are equally capable and we too can excel at whatever project we undertake?
That's the beauty of something like this. It makes you uncomfortable. Others are raising the bar, and we need to keep up. So this would serve as a motivation to the school, teachers, the learners, if not the rest of the province. If I can be so bold as to say the rest of the country. Because let's not forget, Hartley Rd High schools, the public schools, we rely on generosities, donors, the community at large, parents, and fantastic support of the school government will give them. And without that creative space that we allowed, again, and all the stakeholders in education, we would not have raised the bar as high as it may be. So let's hope this serves as a stepping stone for others to follow and emulate.
Wonderful. Let's go for our next ad break. And when we get back, we're going to talk with Mr. Cullen and also get insights as to the way forward. What next from Mr. Cullen and whichever grade he's going to be teaching next year. So please stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking with little people, a class teacher, a grade 2 class teacher, the chairperson of the school governing body, and that, of course, is Mr. A. Desai, and also head of department, Dr. Naidu. We're talking about an amazing achievement at the Hartley Rd Primary School. The grade 2 learners, together with their teacher, Mr. Cullen, have produced a book, a kiddies book, and let me just show you the cover of what the book will look like. I understand it is at the illustrators at the moment, but we will double check with Mr. Cullen. So I hope you can see that clearly. This is what it looks like. Okay, Mr. Cullen, Zain Cullen, back to you. Welcome back to the studio.
Okay.
The last I'd heard from you was that the book has gone to the illustrators. When is the book going to be in a complete form by the publishers? When can we hope that it will be available? How do you plan, and where do you plan to sell the book?
Okay, so we have the tentative date of 25th of November, when we will have our book launch at school. The illustrator promised to give us the book by next week, Wednesday, inshallah. So we hope to get that done. The printer says it will take about a week or less to have the books printed. We're initially going to start with 200 copies that will be sold to the public at the book launch. And the book will also be sold as an ebook, but on the website. We have a company called Hustle Hub Marketing from Johannesburg who came on board and created a website for us. And they will promote our book as an ebook to be sold to the public. So we're hoping that the book will be launched on the 25th of November. And from the time of completion, so now where the book is, I thought, there was so much of cost involved, and how is this going to get done? So I went to the principal, and he said that I have the full support of the SGB, and they will provide whatever is needed. And I never get the chance to go back to the principal because the parents of grade 2 kids of my class, they were absolutely phenomenal. Every single cost, including the calculus cost for the book launch, has been absolutely covered by the parents of my class, and that in itself was just amazing for me as a teacher to see, because I had the stress of the publisher's cost, the illustrator's cost, the printing cost, all this stuff right in my head. How do we get it done? And knowing that we are a government school, we are a public school, funds are scarce, And I just put the message out to the parents, and every single thing was done by the parents. We as individuals, as a school, we never even have the opportunity to put a cent into the book because the parents of the two kids were absolutely phenomenal, and I thank them for that.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them richly for supporting this amazing venture. Let's talk about the illustration. I've shown what I presume is the cover of the book. Would I be correct in assuming that? And let's also talk about the illustration of the book. Who came up with the concept of the illustration, the colors that needed to be used? Did you have any input, you and the class children? Did they have input regarding all of that?
Not so much the class with regards to illustration. I seek help from Zainab Khan, a fellow author and colleague at our school, only because she had the experience of writing her own book. She wrote about 3 books already, and the last one was a letter to the world from Gaza. And I knew she had the expertise in this field. So I went to her for advice, and then we took on the illustration concepts. She asked me what do I want, so I told her that, the illustration was based solely on the classroom. The uniforms of the learners, everything must be solely represented in Hartley Rd Primary School. And she got me in touch with the illustrator in Pretoria named Chicapasto in Tute, and he's been absolutely professional. He just asked me once for a video of my classroom and a picture of the uniform. And this morning he sent me through the illustration of my classroom and of the characters. And it's amazing. I can't wait to come up in the form because the classroom is exactly like how my classroom is at the moment. The uniforms of the learners it's presented exactly the same way as it is now. So alhamdulillah, with the illustrators, we're quite happy at the stage. And just excited, the class and I are just excited to see how it all unfolds in terms of.
Have you people been shown the copy of the complete book, bound, colored, illustrated, etc.? Has it been shown to you? Is it ready, or is it still sitting at the printers and publishers?
No, we haven't. We just have the manuscript, the one that I sent you that you have. The completed book we do not have as yet. That will only be done once the illustrations are done, and I get a PDF copy of that book, and then with that we can send over to the printers, and then once the printers are done, then you have a bound copy of the book. So at the moment, we don't have the book made, but inshallah, before the book launch, we will have our copies made.
I'm sure your entire class knows the story from front to back. And if you have to ask them any question about the book, they'd be able to respond because I'm sure they've read it and reread it and reread it again. So let me speak to the little people and ask them which is the favorite part of their book, please. Let's go to you first, Fatima Zahra Jusuf. Which is the favorite part of your book and why?
Because it's small and it's so easy.
And how about you, Muhammad Amir Khan? Your favorite, most favorite and special part of the book. Why is it your favorite?
When the children were reading a lot, she became not part of the show part of the
Thank you. Zain, can you give us some insight as to, unfortunately, we can only accommodate 2 learners on the show today, but the general sense of the rest of the class, how are they responding to the fact that, number one, we're talking about the book on the show this morning, and the fact that they are a huge part of it, even though we've only showcased 2 little people on the show this morning. There are 40 other learners who are probably watching the program right now and are so excited that their book is being talked about on the show this morning.
Hey, when I told them on Monday that we're having an interview with Hilaal TV, but the only choose 2, the next day, everybody came to me to say, my mother said that I can be on Hilaal TV. That I know everybody's mother would want to be on Hilaal TV, but you only can choose 2. So I said, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to Mr. Galan, the principal, and then he's going to choose 2 numbers for now. He doesn't know who's in the register. He's going to give me 2 numbers, and those 2 numbers will come and be part of the interview. Because it's unfair for me as a teacher to choose 2 learners from my classroom because I love them all equally and we all were part of the group. So I took the task of choosing 2 learners to the principal, and he gave me 2 random numbers from 1 to 42, and that's how we got Fatima Zahra and Muhammad Amir Khan. But overall, the excitement, we actually prepped for assessment and examinations, end of the year examinations, and it, revision gets stopped every lesson to ask me something about the book. Sir, where is our Al interview? Or where is our radio interview? So my mother said she's doing this with the book launch, It's just excitement from the time we start school in the morning, from the first lesson till we go home, every single day, the book comes up in every single lesson. So I know they're excited. They say I'm not going to call them by their names, like Fatima Zahra, I say author Fatima Zahra or author Muhammad Amir Khan. So now I refer to each one of them as author before I say the name.
Oh, wow. Obviously, the rest of the class, the 40 children that are not on set because it's just not possible to accommodate them all, they do know that each and every one of them are superstars. The fact that they all contributed to this book, the compilation of this book, makes each and every one a superstar. We're just sorry that we were unable to have them all on the set this morning. The other amazing thing for me is that when the book is published and it is going to be on sale, all of the proceeds, I understand, is going to a very special fund. Can you tell us about it, please, Zain Kalan?
Okay, so the class and I decided that, inshallah, if we sell our first 500 copies, all proceeds of that will go towards our government in Gaza. And it wasn't my initiative. The class came to me, and the school girl that came in there said, "Sir, when you sell our book, what will happen to the money?" They said, "No, the money will go to the school, and the school will improve our class with our library, whatever needs to be improved." He said, "Okay, so but why can't we send some of the money to Gaza, to brothers and sisters in Gaza?" They said, "That's a fantastic idea. You at such a young age, with that mindset, having within your own group, but with the proceeds wanted to go to Gaza, and I took the idea to Mr. Ben and he said, yes, go for it." So inshallah, with the ebook sales and with our physical hard copy sales, the first 500, inshallah, if we do get to that milestone, all proceeds will be sent to the brothers and sisters in Gaza.
Subhanallah, noble gesture indeed, and we make dua that the book sales will shoot through the roof. We're going for another ad break, and when we come back, we're going to be speaking once again to Mr. Desai and to Dr. Naidu in a minute or two, so please stay with us. Welcome back. We are featuring the Hartley Rd Primary School in KZN, and they're on the show today for a very special reason, that being that the grade 2 class, together with their teacher, Mr. Cullen, have produced, for the first time in the country, I should assume, the grade 2 learners have compiled a kiddies book. It's going to be on sale later on in this month, and all of the proceeds will be going to the people of Gaza. Alhamdulillah, may you all be richly rewarded for it. Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to you, Mr. Desai. Tell us a little more about the school. I understand that it is a Muslim school, but it is also a government school. And I'm also wondering, was special permission sought for this project, or was this purely on the initiative of the teacher? And how is the school governing body going to applaud this teacher for having achieved this amazing project, saw it from start to completion, and in a week's time, in a week or two's time, this book is going to be on sale?
Firstly, just regarding the school is a public government school with a majority Muslim population. And this happened, as I alluded to earlier, with one school closing where all the pupils were Muslims, the other privatizing where all the pupils were Muslims. So the two merged into this and became Hartley School, and that's how we are government schools, but with a Muslim majority. So we're not a Muslim school as such, but we are public schools with a Muslim majority. With regard to this project, as I said, we didn't know much about it until very recently. So as far as the support goes for this class and for this teacher, there are others also. The governing body will have to sit with the school SMT and decide on the way forward as to how to recognize them. And I'm sure we'll do something by the year end, inshallah.
As I've said earlier on in the program, this is really next level stuff. And I think not only for Hartley Rd Primary School, other schools in the area are going to also aspire to do something amazing. And not only will the children be raised to the next level, the profile of the teachers, including the school, gets to the next level. And that's where you come in, Dr. Naidu. I'm wondering if you make this type of information available and known to the Department of Education, and how do you suppose they would respond to it? Because it's a huge endeavor, it's a huge achievement, and obviously it puts your school firmly on the map.
Thanks, Julie. A couple of issues. Firstly, I think the Department of Basic Education has been sensitized and publication of this book. In fact, they've got a lot of accolades for Mr. Cullen's class. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first time it's happening in the province and Nottingham Council. So yeah, they are aware of it. Hartley Rd Primary School, I'll just take a lead from what Mr. Cullen said earlier about the fund going to proceed those going to Gaza. We all know the atrocities we committed there, and as a school, we like to teach our learners to be politically aware and also to be socially responsible. We like to produce learners that are well rounded. And because of that, we have many programs in schools. At the public school, we run numerous programs. That's thanks to the support we get from both the leadership of the school and the school government body. So our learners are daily exposed to a lot, and when they leave Hartley Rd, leave the shore of Hartley Rd, many of them come back after completing their trip, and they're really appreciative of what's being done in the schools. As far as getting other schools involved and sensitizing into this, our school is also based for mathematics. We have a cluster of schools, about 23 schools that are in charge of science. And via that cluster, how we'll be able to get this information out to them, to 23 odd schools, and it'll spread even further than that.
Governing body in the running of the school. And I ask this question because in the past we've heard about school governing bodies that sometimes interfere directly in the teaching and learning systems, and it does create problems in the school. But what I'm hearing from Dr. Naidu as well is that your school has shown amazing results as far as mathematics is concerned as well. So clearly, alhamdulillah, you guys are doing something right. What is it? I should imagine amazing support to the teachers and the school governing body working in tandem with the teachers. So tell us a little more about that concept.
I'm glad you asked that question because we're not in competition with one another in the school. We work together as a unit. And from the very beginning, we have adopted the model of Shura in its sense that we consult everybody. And then everybody buys into the decision that is eventually taken, and then we run with that. So everybody has a say in the matter, and everybody has input, and everybody works together in unison. So when we make such a unified decision, then it becomes very easy to do everything. I want to say this much also, that because we have adopted the method of Shura in the years, the 20 odd years that the governing body has been running the school, I can't remember, there is not a day where we had to go to a vote. So everything is discussed. Yes, there's robust discussions, there's debating of ideas, etc. But at the end of the day, it's the issue at hand, and no personality issues come are factored in.
So alhamdulillah, you guys deal with it appropriately. Everybody's given a voice. And if there are problems, you problem solve in a healthy manner. As you indicate, there are robust discussions, which indicates there are differences of opinion. But as long as everyone is heard, understood, and explained, I guess that is a formula for success. Back to you, Dr. Naidu. Mr. Cullen and his grade 2 class has definitely taken you guys to the next level. What are your expectations going forward? Because we're almost at the end of the year now. The current grade 2 class are going to be in grade 3 next year with a new teacher possibly, but of course all fired up to embrace bigger challenges. What are your thoughts around all of that? And it's not only the grade 2 class, we're talking the entire Hartley Rd Primary School.
Yeah, actually, like I said earlier, these children come, they are an absolute inspiration to the rest of the school. And when this is brought to the attention of everybody in the school at book launch, at assembly, that they are recognized and given due recognition, I'm sure it will inspire them, I think, the other learners, other teachers, to look for opportunities make our children grow, to raise the bar, like I said earlier, to the next levels.
Competition is very healthy, and undoubtedly the schools in the area as well are going to aspire to do something bigger, better, or possibly even on the same level. Other schools that may come to the school governing body, to you, Dr. Naidu as head of department, and to Zain Cullen as the class teacher, what advice would you give them for them possibly to get to the next level? Because that's what it's all about. We're living in a very, very competitive environment. And what is the message we want to leave our children with? regarding competition, which can be fierce and sometimes becomes ugly as well? Dr.
Julia, I
Naidu.
think, sorry. I think important that networking is very important. I think as schools, we are successful because we network. And now you'll be surprised, if I can correct you, our network extends beyond the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We used to have a huge fundraiser, the Hartley Rd. I'm not too sure if you will. And we had stallholders coming from as far as Portsburg in Johannesburg and booking a stall and selling the products that are here. So we network widely in all departments, whether mathematics, English, and through that networking, you'll be able to give anybody that comes to us a leg up. We never ever turn anyone away, ever, on any level. Whether it's charitable work, educational work, whatever support they want, they know they can always count on Hartley Rd family. Even the Department of Basic Education, I'm not sure if any of them are listening, but they always count on us to do what is right and to help every learner, every teacher to raise the bar to learn.
Love the concept. It's really about each one teach one, and collectively we can achieve so much more, and we can truly inspire our young people to be the best they can. And going forward, I think we're going to have lots of little authors in our community, particularly coming out of the Hartley Rd Primary School. Let's cross over now to you, Mr. Cullen. We've got about 5 to 6 minutes left on the show this morning, and I'd like to know, what are your other big plans going forward in the coming years at Hartley Rd Primary School?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for the question. I thought of taking this initiative of writing a book for the next year and writing a book about a sports personality. I've approached a few sports personalities, the agents. I don't want to get too much out as yet, but I have got responses from captains of our national teams, ex-captains also of our national sporting teams. And next year the plan is to write a book showcasing their upbringing and their road to success, and to inspire young learners who are also probably cricketers, soccer players, rugby players to achieve their dreams, to show them that that this certain person started just like you, but they became a world champion, or they became a captain of the national team. So alhamdulillah, I don't want to give too much away, but I have received positive feedback from these agents to say that they're on board. They like the initiative of the class to get the teacher writing a book about the certain players. So alhamdulillah, that's in the pipeline for next year. So all goes well, inshallah. Whichever class I end next year will also be writing the book, and also inspiration to the other teachers in the foundation phase in the whole of Alie, teachers at the Cameroon University, they also want to try this initiative with their learners, whether it takes off, whether it does not, it doesn't take a matter, but they want to drive the initiative in their classroom. So alhamdulillah, maybe each class in Alie next will have their own book.
Have you ever done much writing in the past? Have you written a book perhaps in the past?
No, first time.
So this is the first time. So we see an aspiring author in you, and 42 other grade 2 learners going on and becoming authors here in our beautiful country of South Africa. Alhamdulillah, so proud of all of you. Are you going to be teaching the grade 2 class again next year, the next class that's coming to you? Are you still going to be teaching the next grade 2 class next year?
I'm not too sure. Waiting for allocations to get assigned to us as whenever we receive our allocation. So I'm not too sure about the grade 2 next year, grade 1, grade 3. I am a foundation phase teacher, so I will be in a grade 1, 2, 3, or even our class. So I'm not too sure where I'll be next year. Initially, I have to go up with my learners, the same learners, to grade 3, and then it will be difficult into getting that concept of writing a book if that has to come next year. So yeah, so next time I'm not too sure which class I will be in.
Heartiest
Which grade I will be in.
congratulations. Heartiest congratulations once again. An amazing achievement, Mr. Zain Cullen. We're going to be wrapping up now. And to our little authors sitting in the studio with you, and of course the 40 other authors that are in the classroom, well done. And we see a really bright future ahead for all of you, inshallah, ameen. Final words from you, Mr. Cullen.
Jazakallah for joining us. Thank the parents, the school staff, the primary school for support our initiative. The stakeholders that came through, as I mentioned, is not to mention, Shebakatsu, Chute, Asalam, Mahati, and all other sponsors that we got you, please, forgive them. But to thank all of them for supporting this initiative of ours and encourage public when the book does go and sale with the, especially the digital sales, if they could please support the cause, that also people will be great to understand the brothers and the Gaza. And to the teachers out there, you can drive this initiative in your classroom. It might seem difficult in the start, but you will get there in the end, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, and to those two little authors in the studio with you, Muhammad Amir Khan and Fatima Zahra Jusuf, you guys have been so good and so patient. You were so quiet throughout the interview. Thank you indeed, and we're so proud of you and all your friends in the grade 2 class. Mr. Desai and Dr. Naidu, thank you indeed for your input on the show this morning. Once again, congratulations. You guys have truly taken the Hartley Rd Primary School to...
Julie, I will just say something before we wrap up, and that is the indomitable spirit of Mr. Cullen. Despite, I don't think everybody knows about this, but despite his health issues, etc., during the year, Allah Ta'ala has given him the strength to do this, and it's a magnificent effort, and it's a mean feat that he has accomplished here. And I want to take this opportunity to say that we thank Allah Ta'ala for granting us the ability to be able to run the school, etc., in a manner which is progressive.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but we've got to leave it there. Thank you, Dr. Naidu, Mr. Desai, Mr. Cullen, and our two little authors in the studio. It's time for us to wrap up. Thank you indeed. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Till next week at the same time, as always, Assalamu alaikum. And a big shout out to our producers, Darren and Mohammed behind the cameras. Assalamu alaikum.